Hello there, DC from the DC Life channel here. We're going to be talking about the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Volume 3. And who is the superstar on the cover? The strongest there is, the Incredible Hulk. Now, just before we dive into Volume 3, I want to remind you that I have videos of Volumes 1 and 2, which you can check out here, or my thoughts on the recent Superman teaser trailer, which you can also check out here or in the description below. Now, back to the video. The Incredible Hulk TV show is one of my earlier introductions to this character. Remember the theme song? Always thought it was a little sad and was always confused as to why Bruce Banner is usually portrayed as mild-mannered, but is always angry at the same time.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Well, if you've read the Hulk's entry in the Handbook in Volume 3, you would know why. It says here he possibly grew up with an alcoholic father who envied his wife's affection for Bruce when he was a baby. Bruce Banner's father eventually unalived his mother and was thrown into a mental hospital. Did you know this about Bruce Banner? The Hulk movie with Eric Bana captured this well, but portrayed Banner's father using him as a guinea pig for his obsessive gamma radiation experiments. That's why he's so angry. I don't know much about him through the comics outside of the fact that he's very strong and not very smart. Most of my exposure to this character was through the Incredible Hulk cartoon series in the 80s. Bruce Banner was always gentle and kind in this series. There's a great She-Hulk origin episode as well that you guys need to check out, and I'll have the link to the Prime video of this episode in the description below. A much better origin story of the She-Hulk, might I add, than the one that we got through the MCU Disney Plus series. And I'll come back to her in a sec. It's actually quite amazing to have his beginnings and eventually somehow ending up to be a talented and incredible smart physicist, only to have the gamma accident change him into the Incredible Hulk. As a little boy, going from a nerdy scientist to a larger-than-life bodybuilder strongman would be a dream come true. But actually understanding his tragic story and to have the rest of his adulthood be plagued with being hunted by the military due to the destruction caused by the Hulk, which he cannot control, is actually a sad story. I'm so glad that he eventually finds friendships through the Avengers and the Defenders and has his beloved cousin share the load of this burden. And it is pretty cool to have Betty Ross, who loves him so much and can see the hero beyond the monster. There's actually a lot to work with here. Which brings me to the Disney Plus She-Hulk show. First of all, I love the She-Hulk. She is for sure one of the premier female comic book characters in the Marvel Universe, and I will for sure feature her in a later volume because she's just such a great character. One of the reasons why I completely cannot relate to the MCU's version of Jennifer Walters is the out-of-character social responsibility tantrum that she throws at Bruce in the very first episode.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger.
Especially when you consider what Bruce has endured since his childhood, and to have most of his adult life be ruined by the burden that is the Hulk, and to have Bruce be so guilty and feeling responsible that this burden is now on his beloved cousin, and all that to have her disrespect all of his life experience, and not to mention his most likely professional training as an Avenger.
It's easy.
The know-it-all, the disregard of his life experience is just so out of character.
Oh, because I'm better than you?
It's just basically different.
In a better way.
That is absolutely not Jennifer Walters. This is how you destroy an awesome character. That is absolutely not the She-Hulk. Okay, rant over. Now, let's celebrate who the She-Hulk is in a later video of a later volume. Now, I've talked about just how powerful the Hulk is in my video of Volume 1, which you can check out here or through the link in the description below. But I just want to express what a tragic story that Bruce Banner has and just how heroic and awesome that he's overcome all of that to become one of the greatest Marvel superheroes. Now that is comic book inspirational. Now, why focus on her?
Are you kidding?
No.
Sorry, this is all about Marvel Comics. Sue Storm is most likely the most powerful Fantastic Four character. Despite her unassuming demeanor, she most likely has the deadliest power sets on the team. Yes, Johnny Storm can reach the intensity levels of a supernova, and he is super powerful. Sue Storm, besides being able to make herself and others invisible, she can generate force fields that can withstand concussive forces by beings as powerful as Blastar? Since we have instructions to check out Blastar, whom I've never heard of, he has the strength level of 50 tons, which is the same as the Rogue or Ms. Marvel Carol Danvers. And he can fire blasts off of his fingertips that has the intensity of a nuclear engine rocket. And Sue Storm's force fields can withstand that. Now, there's a moment in the Fantastic Four 2, The Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Did you know I could create a force field inside someone's body and expand it until they explode?
I really think she can actually do that. She's just a decent human being who wouldn't go there. The Havok. Didn't know that he was a graduate student of geophysics. Wonder if that contributes to the way he uses his powers. Basic story that I know of the Havok is that he is Cyclops' younger brother, and they had to jump off a burning plane when they were kids, and they were separated at the hospital. And Havok, Alex Summers, was adopted, and he lived a pretty normal life until he discovered his powers. Upon reading the Handbook, I learned that an evil mutant called the Living Pharaoh captured Alex and took advantage of his latent powers, which eventually got out of control. This is also when he discovered that he had a brother in Cyclops when the X-Men battled the Living Pharaoh. Havok decided to stay in the Egyptian desert because his powers was getting out of control, which led him to being captured by the Sentinels and Larry Trask, who eventually gave him one of the most awesome costumes in the X-Men. It's crazy because it's just so simple. It's just basically an all-black leotard. But I just love the juxtaposition of the chest display monitor of the buildup of his powers. And just like Scott Summers, Alex is pretty popular with the ladies. He eventually fell in love with Lorna Dane Polaris, Magneto's daughter, and eventually joined the X-Men in the X Factor. Havok absorbs ambient cosmic energy and transforms it into plasma energy that even heats up the air in its path. He's able to either allow the plasma waves to emanate from his body in all directions or channel them through his arms. He is constantly absorbing cosmic energy, and he has to essentially carefully let them out in negligible quantities once he reaches capacity. He's just so cool. One of my favorite X-Men characters ever, probably because of the Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends TV show, always loved the Iceman. Bobby Drake's fun-loving and girl-crazy personality. More importantly, Iceman is one of the few Omega-level mutants because of his Ice Generation powers. Almost seems limitless. And he has been so creative over the years with how he uses his powers that he is just a force to be reckoned with, despite the fact that he's been mistaken as just an ice maker. Also, modern-day Hollywood has yet to depict a cool design of an all-made-of-ice person like the Iceman. Honorary mentions. Galactus is not a cloud.
Brother, ugh.
Hercules and the Gladiator are in the same strength level as the Hulk. First off, I really hope Hercules gets to be in the MCU. Love this character. I believe in the 80s, Class 100 is Marvel's way of saying that these characters are really strong. It's interesting to note that the Gladiator had this moment on the X-Men cartoon in the 90s with the Juggernaut. It states in his strength levels category that the uppermost limit of his strength is unknown, and it's theorized that he could have employed Shi'ar technology to amplify his power levels. Again, this is why I love the handbooks. Here is Graviton, and why is he important? Earth's Mightiest Heroes Episode 1. The best Avengers show there is. Also, the best depiction of Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers, by the way, and the Thor. It's just an awesome show. Watch the whole thing. Link in the description below. Look at the awesome breakdown of Hawkeye's quiver. A nerd stream. Don't forget to check out his Sky Cycle as well. Another character that I've always been intrigued by is the Hellcat of the Defenders, because redheads? Interesting to note that Iron Man 2, the War Machine, was actually using the OG Iron Man armor, while Tony Stark looked like this. I love the Inhumans. Check out who were the Guardians of the Galaxy at this time. Also, love the Imperial Guard. Manta just looks awesome. And I love how many of them were showcased in the Phoenix Saga of the X-Men cartoons in the 90s. Well, we've checked out another volume of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Did you like Volume 3? What do you think of the sad origins of the Hulk? How well do you know the Iceman or Bobby Drake? Did you know that the Invisible Woman's force fields were that strong? And do you think that she is one or the most powerful Fantastic Four member? Please nerd out with me in the comments section below, and don't forget to click on the subscribe, thumbs up, and bell icons to help the channel out. Do check out other videos that I have, earlier Marvel handbooks, volumes 1 and 2, or my thoughts on the recent Superman teaser trailer, or tech reviews through the links in the description below. Thanks again for checking out the video, and don't forget to keep pursuing what you love, because life's too short, live it fully. DC signing out, and I will see you in the next video.